Patriot fam, and happy Freedom Friday. Or get your boxing gloves out and fight Friday. No, don't do that. That's ill-advised. I mean, perhaps.
Fight Club is a real thing.
Oh, no. We don't talk about
We had Ivan on yesterday that was talking about getting an octagon in front of the White House on the 4th of July. And that he wants to...
Only if I'm ringside, Ivan. Only if I'm ringside.
We'll coach you. We'll be what is that? Like the spit bucket? No, I'm thinking of Rocky. That is a different... Wow. Just showed my age.
They spit right on the mat in the octagon.
No.
It's just, I mean, it's a gross sport, but it is so fun.
Well, I hope you guys might want to put a lid on your coffee today, or at least set it down for a majority of the show, because there's a lot of spill attempts could be coming your way. Laughter. We've got a lot of things to discuss. Melania's movie is premiering tonight. Did you know our First Lady has a movie? No, because most of Hollywood has not said anything about it. But it is.
Why would they?
It is amazing. Plus, they put Trump, her hubby, on the spot, asking him a question.
Sure.
And you shouldn't do that to husbands largely, or men in general, because they're walking into the fire, It's like, and he says that, he's like, don't put me on the spot, because I wasn't prepared to answer these questions. But
that's
pretty
funny.
cute. There's some good news coming out of the Panama Canal, the huge investment on America's part, so we'll get into that. Hakeem Jeffries dialing up the rhetoric, even with all of the bloodshed that we've seen in the country. Plus, Allie's got some breaking news she just wanted to share regarding Don Lemonade. We got all that coming our way, guys, so go ahead, let's open the mic.
Taking back our freedom, back to where we started. We're wearing our red hat tonight. It takes more than just a feeling. Oh, better be believing, and America's gonna be home.
What do you do when they try to cancel you? MAGA Nation, we cancel proof. My red hat stays on. My red hat stays on. You know I love Gavin and Trump, I trust. November 5th, you gon' ride with us. Our red hat stays on. Our red hat stays on. It's the Mayor Maggie, the RNC King. 2024, freedom gon' ring. This the red, white, and blue. I'm still fighting for each one of you. And keep your red hat on.
Okay, welcome. I did not go line dancing last night, by the way. That is a weird thing for me.
Yeah, I mean, you normally go.
Now I've got all this pent-up countryness. I don't know why I said that live on television. But anyway, welcome to Open Mic. Open Mic Ladies. If you'd like to learn more, openmicladies.com. Follow at Real Allie Leger, at Michelle Posey, and at Open Mic Ladies on all platforms. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
And we are monitoring the chat right now on X. So if you are on X, please stop in, slide into our comment, and say hello.
I dare you, all of you that were out there trolling over delivering donuts to, first of all, to the Capitol Police in Tallahassee, and then lunch to the DHS in Tampa
Bay.
You thought that was a really cute video. We had so many. You had so many haters.
We.
Yeah, I mean, but.
Well, they don't really hate much.
What is wrong?
I told you, you're white adjacent. They have nothing to hate. They think that I'm like your token black girl. So that you've given me my white card and you held me hostage and made me go MAGA. That's what they think.
Needless to say, we're both Latino, and you probably couldn't tell us a damn thing. Just saying. Like, try getting either one of us forced to do something that's even the Lord is like, yeah, it ain't happening.
Oh boy.
Oh, guys. Okay. Speaking of white privilege card, Hakeem Jeffries on the Democrat side. Listen to this rhetoric. We'll do this, then we'll get into the breaking news.
Okay.
But Hakeem Jeffries was on the record talking about Department of Homeland Security Director Kristi Noem. Now listen to what he says at the end of this, and you tell me if this doesn't sound like really violent rhetoric. Take a listen.
She should have never been confirmed. Shame on every Republican in the Senate who put this wildly unqualified person into a position of significance in the Department of Homeland Security so she could unleash brutalization on everyday Americans, American citizens, and law-abiding immigrant families. It's disgraceful. She's got to go. We are dead serious. She needs to be put on ice permanently. She's got to go. Put on ice?
Yes, like as in the director, right? I don't know.
Either
they're saying put on ice. Now listen, if you look when they reshared this, when you put something on ice,
hang on,
That is, I think that's a call to
What does it mean when someone uses the phrase "put on ice"? That's not accurate.
They're like, she's talking about the Democrats. Quick, give her a really dumbed down version.
Right. Because, okay, so anybody that has ever seen a mob movie.
Thank you. Or lived in Chicago.
Right.
Allegedly.
Or knows gangsters or has seen gangster
Jersey.
films. I mean, Jersey, New York.
Lord.
Cali. I'm just saying.
Mayor Daley.
If you're told you're going to go sleep with the fishes or we're going to put you on ice, what do you think that means?
Or give you concrete shoes.
Oh, Lord have mercy. See, this is the problem, is that they know just how close to that line they can get before it's illegal.
There are a lot of people that know how close to the line they can get till it's illegal and think they're going to play FF games.
If it was a female, I'd be dragging her by her hair by now.
It's funny, but it's not funny. So
I say that tongue in cheek,
if you think
about on TV.
Well, but some people like to see that kind of drag down match. I mean, you could be a part of the
This
July
is not
4th.
Celebrity Deathmatch.
But you could be a part of the July 4th celebrations. Who wouldn't pay to see Allie versus, like, what's her name?
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
Jasmine.
the piece of Crockett.
She wouldn't. She wouldn't. She'd say no.
Girl, you got her. You got her. I've seen those guns. I've seen those guns.
She can't. She just never.
Allie walks me to my car after school board meetings. Anyway. Wow, I'm so sorry, David. We will reel it together here. Breaking news, Don Juan Lemonade.
We are going to get some lemonade by those crocodile tears. He has been arrested.
Aw. Wah-wah.
He's been arrested.
Yeah, we're going to stall a little bit. But yeah, so he's been arrested. So what did Don Lemon do? So he went into that church in Minneapolis. Looked like he was there just covering breaking news. Oh my gosh, these protesters have pushed their way into this peaceful church and they're in here just shouting. And they did break some things. So there are some, there's some ramifications for that. But then because pride comes before the fall, so he goes out, and that's not enough for him to get his name in a headline because he largely is unemployed. Now he goes out and behind the scenes has this video of beforehand where he's out there talking to these protesters and these agitators, and he's like a part of the planning. Not just interviewing and saying, so tell me what you're about to do.
That's not reporting. No, that's conspiracy right? That's conspiracy.
So imagine this. Don Lemon is he's in Los Angeles to be covering the Grammys. So, this is what happens when you fail at journalism at large. They put you in, TMZ. I don't know. So he's covering the Grammys, but in his role of storming the church, it looks like while we're getting the video queued up.
It'd be what, the FACE Act?
Yeah, the FACE Act, which is the freedom of access to clinic entrances. It also includes places of worship. But conspiracy to deprive rights and violating that FACE Act by obstructing access to the house of worship. Now, this is the thing that really frustrates me. What do you think you're going to do by storming into a church? If you want to protest outside one, I mean, obviously people can do what they want with that, but nobody ever thinks, and we're certainly not advocating for, nobody ever thinks to do this with other religions in the United States. Somebody was saying, try that in a mosque. Like what?
He said
it would be a hate crime.
Yep, they know exactly what they're doing, and they won't try that in any other church. But the Christian church. What does that say about our Christian churches in the Western Hemisphere?
Well, and in the state of Florida, we've got new legislation being proposed right now that allows our churches to reframe who they allow as armed security, somebody that doesn't necessarily have to have elaborate, doesn't need to have elaborate training to be able to. You could be former military,
and you can use your own parishioners. You don't have to have outsource it with a security force
and costing more money largely because we need to. Churches should not be soft targets for this exact reason. 100%. And if you don't believe us, take a listen to this pastor.
Don Lemon, don't come here. You roll up in this church doing stuff like that, and it's going to be the Royal Rumble. And the funny thing is, I'm not joking. We have worked hard. We built the church in the name of the Lord. We dedicated it to the Lord. It's built for worship. Our blood, sweat, tears, and finances are in this place. And some people who have never darkened the door of a church and never contributed one dime to it, gonna roll up in here and disturb our service and scare our children and shout obscenities in the church. That will not stand in this church. Freedom of speech doesn't extend to going into someone else's house of worship. And you know what? Them people know that. That's why you never see them going into a mosque, because they know the Muslims ain't having that. I'm not a Muslim, but we ain't having that. And the Bible teaches that we serve a God who teaches our hands to war and our fingers to fight. That's Bible. And these are the times in which we live. No respect for the house of God. All we want our sisters to do is just get out the way. He gets ready to throw a punch, don't grab his arm. Let the Lord have his way, and they'll know not to ever do that again. Say amen.
Amen. Amen.
That's some
Type
church.
amen in the comments if you agree. Just saying. Wow. I like it. A pastor with some heavenly spine. Let's put it that way.
Heavenly spine.
He's taking dominion. He's taking dominion.
Absolutely.
I like it. I like it.
It's a new way with the church. Well, what if I told you, Allie, that
shutdown.
there is another shutdown limit, because they would largely run out of catastrophes during the Trump administration to try to stir up. So now
they have to create them.
They're looking at the potential for another government shutdown. Now, that's why Hakeem Jeffries was the one who drew the short straw, I guess, to come out in the Democrats and try to poke a stick at, sorry, that's not good, at Kristi Noem, DHS Director, because they're going to
put her on ice.
They're going to try to hold hostage ICE funding in exchange for let's take her out of Department of Homeland Security. I think this is why you see ICE Director Tom Homan coming into Minneapolis, and allegedly, like, they're going to work together now. Kind of, Minneapolis is like taking a knee, I guess. I don't know. I think because they all decided, let's point in this direction to Kristi Noem, and then we're going to withhold all of the funding. Could we have potentially just seen the unrest and burning of Minneapolis, lives, innocent lives, not so innocent because they impeded law enforcement, but lives lost, just so that they could create a narrative to not fund ICE, so that they could just be a thorn in Trump's side? I wouldn't put it past the Democrats.
No, I agree. I think all things can be true at the same time. So we were talking about in spaces. I mean, I can let you play this or show this clip real quick.
Well, and it's one of our favorites. Byron Donalds. He is, because he's still
I'll
House of Rep from here in Florida, but he takes a list here at America's National Security. Take a listen.
What do you make of this possible spinning off DHS funding in order to avoid a shutdown? What do you make of that option?
No, I'm not supportive of that. The Democrats, again, they want to play just to win political seats this November, and it's not right. If they're going to shut down the Department of Homeland Security, you know what else gets shut down? FEMA assistance gets shut down. Is that what the Democrats want to do? You know what else gets shut down? And nobody loves them. I mean, look, it's a tough job. Everybody gets frustrated when you go through an airport, but there's TSA. What about border security? That gets funded under the Department of Homeland Security. Do the American people want their borders wide open like it was under Joe Biden's disastrous presidency? And I didn't hear Hakeem Jeffries say anything about wide open borders. He supported them. So if the Democrats want to play this game where they want to have the security of our nation be undermined so they can score political points, this is the reason why Donald Trump won a political mandate in 2024. And if they want to play these games, this is the reason they will lose the midterms in 2026.
I can't say it any better. Will you please be our next governor here in the state of Florida?
Great. I think he's going to be. I mean, I know he's going to be, because he's just, that's just how this is going to go. Okay.
Yeah. And we love your wife.
But I mean, he's not just talking about FEMA and Border Patrol. He's talking about, the Secret Service as well, and our military members, like even our Postal Service. Like, this is just crazy.
How are you going to do mail-in ballots?
I'm saying when you do they'll make an exception, just like they did for COVID. It is rules that they want to implement on their own.
Yeah.
Now, I was in spaces last night at The Pirate Radio. We love them. They're amazing. We had James R., Political James. You can follow him on X. He was in there. We had a couple of others in there as well. And we were having this conversation about, there's one guy who came up on the stage and he's saying, a lot of the Border Patrol have not been properly trained in crowd control.
Right.
So when you bring mass amounts of people who have been trained to detain and detect and hunt down, essentially, violent criminals.
Yeah.
And then you put them in harm's way with these riots that are exploding all over the place. They don't really know how to have this crowd control situation. Not saying that, okay, I'll get to that. Sorry, my brain is going like, oh, too many tabs open. But the point is that this happens, what we've seen and the tragedies we've seen, you know, with the lives lost, because nobody wants to see that, right? But at the same time, don't impede law enforcement. Just saying, just don't do that. Anyway, if the police officers in Minneapolis were cooperating with the federal ICE agents, they would be able to implement crowd control and keep these crowds back while DHS is doing their job. However, there was someone else that came up on the stage and was like, I don't know about you. We don't know what that training looks like. We don't have any information on what that training looks like. We don't know where these people have come from before to join DHS. So there are certain people that do have specific trainings that would help with crowd control. And so the other guy was saying how like the reason why Kristi Noem is on boots on ground and you have Tom Homan boots on ground is to kind of regroup a little bit and figure out who can assist with crowd control while DHS is doing their job. Well, so I don't know. What do you guys think?
And Tom Homan gave a press conference yesterday in the morning and early in the morning from Minneapolis, and he said, somebody asked this great question. They said, what is Border Patrol doing this far inland in the country? And he said, don't you know anything? It was so funny. Don't you know anything? During the entire time that Clinton and Bush and Obama were in office, Border Patrol, ICE was directed to the border to assist Border Patrol. It's a reciprocity. So we have always brought Border Patrol then because the border is not an issue right now. We've got certain points of entry and everything else is largely locked down. So they've brought the Border Patrol agents inland. It's not something that, you know, this guy tried to stump Tom Homan, and it's just like...
You can't stump Tom Homan.
You can't stump the truth. Like, maybe Google something. We do it. That part. Well, guys, there are some victories to announce. The Panama Canal, I don't know if you guys realize how much of America's assets and work and labor and money went into building the Panama Canal. It was largely an investment to be able to create these shipping lines that can get now from the Atlantic to the Pacific without going, as if you could imagine, all the way around the tip of South America. So this was a great thing, but it was largely meant in the agreement to keep it U.S. owned. And then the U.S. said, you know what, Panama, we're going to let you have some control over it. We want Panama to get some wealth and riches, maybe put your people there to be able to oversee it. What did Panama do? In violation of the Monroe Doctrine, the Monroe Doctrine, they subbed it out to China. And what happened is that on both ends of the Panama Canal, you had Chinese control. That means, let's say it's a ship that's coming into port somewhere in the United States, and China just gets a wild hair up their issue, and they just decide that they want to stop this ship, let this ship through. Remember some of those, I think it was the holidays during 2023-ish, where there was a complete gridlock to getting into our ports. A lot of that is because of foreign interests who don't like you and I coming in. China. So there's good news. There's a good win. Trump, Panama, the court rules that the Chinese-linked firms that have been controlling both ends of the Panama Canal have to end. It's unconstitutional. It says Panama Supreme Court ruled, okay. The contract to operate ports at both ends of the canal is unconstitutional. They're out. This is the Monroe Doctrine in action. So if you think about it, the Monroe Doctrine, right? 5th President of the United States, a Democrat, who said we don't want any Eastern meddling in the Western Hemisphere. Thank God.
Right. Well, this court ruling isn't just a legal win. It is a geopolitical reset. The canal ports, or the canal's ports, should serve Americans' interests, not others, especially adversaries, right? Like, this has to be in our best interest. And America's hemispheric, our hemispheric dominance is non-negotiable.
Yeah.
It's non-negotiable at this point.
It is America first. If you think about it, I love, Donald Trump said this the other day. He said, and Marco Rubio, if you think about America first as, 10 miles off our coast, you've largely missed it. America first is securing the entire hemisphere. Why do you think it's North America and South America? Why do you think, like, even what's happening in Greenland? This is This is pretty important. I want to pivot just a little bit to something that happened here in Florida. I cannot believe this is the second nurse. I call it Nurses Gone Wild. What is wrong with these people that take an oath to like a Hippocratic oath? Not a
really bad TV show.
But I think we could. I'm going to talk to Libs of TikTok and be like, I think you could have a whole segment. We love our medical professionals, but these are nurses. In the past, nurses, law enforcement, military, teachers have all largely been like, I might have my personal political view, but I don't bring it to work with me. You take an oath as somebody in the medical profession to do no harm. It doesn't say, let me see your voting record first. This is a nurse from right here in Florida. It's the second one this week. He's had Attorney General James Uthmeier revoked Eric's nursing license after he said this: I will not perform anesthesia for any surgeries or procedures for MAGA. It's my right, it's my ethical oath, and I stand behind my education, which was probably really woke. I own all of my businesses, and I can refuse anyone.
Really?
Not if you're working. Not if you're working for.
Oh my God. I don't understand. Well, I think people just like to find out.
Look what Nancy May said. You're doing the Lord's work. What is that? I don't know.
It's the FA is him saying that, and the find out is effective today. Eric Martindale is no longer a registered nurse in Florida. Thank you, AG.
Making healthcare great again.
Guys, other states could take a lesson or two from James Uthmeier.
Just grab a pen.
I'm saying it is wild. I don't know why people want to FAFO in Florida. You already know the hammer's coming. I don't understand why you're playing. Why are you playing these games?
What did DeSantis say at the press conference?
Something to the same effect.
He said something about pound sand, and I looked at Allie and I said, I love Florida.
Yeah. He was like, you could tell them to go pound sand. They don't like that very much. But it is
what happens when you have a former JAG officer as the governor.
I
was
love
like,
it. No holds barred,
sir.
though. All the gloves are off. Like, we're done playing these games.
Well, if you feel like the protests have gotten a little bit, I don't know, a little bit out of whack, we've talked on this show many times about the border policies and the immigration policies and the deportation policies of Bush Sr., Bush Jr., Clinton, Obama. Far more deportations than Trump has. But I love this particular post. Elon reshared it. It's Tommy Robinson who reshared it. Talks about the deportations versus protests under each president. So the number of deportations and how many people protested, and you're going to see it's like Trump derangement syndrome all over again.
It is
Take a look.
I want to read you the list of deportations by president. Clinton, 12.5 million, 0 protests. Bush, 10 million, 0 protests. Obama, 5.2 million, 0 protests. Joe Biden, Mr. Open Borders. Yes, he let in hundreds of thousands, if not millions, but he deported 7 million.
20 million by some count.
Oh my God, but he deported 7, whatever. It doesn't count because he undid that. And then Trump, 1.2 million. And where were the cameras?
Well, this has to do with media, obviously. The media isn't as focused on the other deportations from other presidents, so...
They praised them!
Yeah, they did. They praised them. And did you know that 59 people were shot by ICE under Barack Obama? And
one protest.
We have not heard a thing about it. Not a thing. Not a riot, not a protest, not a sign, not a flag wave or flag burning ceremony, whatever it is that they're doing now. This is the result of this is just the result.
It's frustrating.
Of media.
Yes.
That has no integrity.
That is bought and paid for. Bought and paid for.
But you know how we fix it? Because we don't like just talking about the problems, you guys. We like to bring you solutions. Call Speaker Mike Johnson and tell him to put the Smith Modernization Act on the floor for a vote. I think they're calling it the Charlie Kirk Act now.
Yes, I saw that.
Either way,
you can call it the Open Mic Act.
Whatever it is, I don't care what it is. We need to hold media accountable to the point where they're not using propaganda to psyop people that are susceptible,
the American people,
to that.
Absolutely.
So,
well, and Allie,
we're all being swayed.
And these wins that the administration is having are not being reported, which is why it's like, thank God for social media and independent journalists, because largely the White House and Donald Trump have had to bring his message directly to the people, because you're not going to be able to have the lamestream media pick any of this up. This is one of the wins. I know this is what you voted for in November of 202024.
Did you see this? I was like, oh, blowing up those narco votes surely did do something, didn't it?
The drug overdose deaths are down just in this first short, I don't know, like really a quarter of a year that we've been really doing that. Down 23%, he said, by leading the charge against lethal drugs like fentanyl. The Trump administration has prioritized saving American lives. Go figure. Is that America first or what?
And I said this before, he is the president who is effective at the war on drugs.
Yeah.
Right? Do you remember that? The war on drugs? Just Say No, when DARE came out, and now we have no DARE, and now we have high school kids like smoking marijuana vapes in the bathrooms. Like that, just.
Well, and largely, sometimes you've got between the cartels, other foreign leaders like Maduro, and then even some possibly in our own country on either sides of the aisle that might have a vested interest to keep this going. People do run on platforms. And if a platform is no longer there, it's like, oh my God, I got to run on my voting record? Go figure.
Yes.
So I love that he's not about this nonsense. Trump is out there to really fight for you. Who's not fighting much for anybody except for hair gel is Gavin Newsom. Wow, this is crazy. I want you guys to take a look at this. Trump, because he comes in and fixes stuff, because that's what he does. Trump stunned Gavin Newsom by signing an executive order for the feds to take over the LA wildfire rebuilding and permitting process. Not taxpayer dollars, but the rebuilding and permitting. So what's happened there, and Hollywood, I think they're paying Hollywood to stay mostly silent on this.
Quiet.
A lot of people are saying, listen, we want to be able to rebuild our homes. It's been how long? The permitting process is running as slow as, I don't know, as
a sloth.
Really
I don't know.
Slow.
But then they weren't allowing people to build their homes. They're creating
because somebody else wants the land.
Right. They're creating all of this red tape, and so it's frustrating. And the problem is that we have these celebrities that think that they are about something, which largely they're not.
It's a make-believe industry.
It obviously
largely green screened. You're welcome.
Yes.
Love you.
It's wild. But they'll open their mouth to say something crazy about DHS, or they'll open their mouth to say something crazy about Trump derangement syndrome, but will not open their mouth or put their money where their mouth is to help these residents in their state to rebuild after the complete catastrophic failure of their presumed leader, right?
Well, and here's the thing
of the state, Newsom.
If one of your jobs was to, if you had a specific job detail, and you knew it when you were hired, and then something catastrophic happens in your business and where you're working, and people realize as they go through and they do an analysis, they realize you dropped the ball, you would be fired. You would be fired and stopped. Him and the LA mayor, who's not, I'm not going to call her a Democrat, she's a Marxist. They didn't put water, they didn't make sure the water was flowing from the reservoir into the fire hydrants. Like, what? They cut the budget of the LA Fire Department. I mean, anybody who's lived, I used to live in the Santa Clarita area, Acton, that area. I mean, you get those Santa Ana winds that come through, why do you think they have burn bans? Why do you think you're only allowed to have gas-powered any flames outdoors? There's a reason for this, and he's lived there his whole life. They cut the budget for the forestry department, which we've largely federalized. Trump said, you know what, we're still using California's tax dollars, but we're going to go in there and make sure you're cleaning up the brush. Hey, you know what's a fire hazard? Dead brush laying everywhere.
Obviously.
It's just crazy.
It is intentional incompetence, weaponized incompetence. And there definitely needs to be an investigation federally into what took place, because
put them on the list.
It does. It needs to be added to the list. Well, I'm sure it has been, and it already is on the list. I know that we are winning at a massive rate, or we will continue to, for sure. It is just absolutely wild.
Nicki Minaj had something to say about it too, about Gavin Newsom. Let's take a listen.
What did you make of our great Treasury Secretary's comments about Newsom in Davos?
So spot on. That's one of my new heroes, I told you, now, because of the way he so calmly and confidently obliterated Newsom.
To hear.
I mean, you take a number person like Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, he can tear a hole into Gavin Newsom's failures there in California, and he did at Davos, and he did it from a global stage.
For sure. I just want to give Laura Hartman a shout out. She says, make healthcare great again. Yes, ma'am, we absolutely must. And I believe that Maha and Secretary Kennedy are on the task.
Absolutely. And
sure.
you know,
thanks for always watching, though, too, and sharing, Laura. We love you.
We love Laura, and we love what she does, fighting the good fight. Real quick, before we go to a commercial break, I was doing some research on something else, and I was like, you know what? I forgot about this clip. And because Carrie Lake is now a part of the administration. She does some behind the scenes with media. We forget how the election was stolen from her twice in Arizona. Now we're learning about that, but she's largely been behind the scenes with Trump a lot. But did you know when she was running and running against another candidate in a primary?
Yeah.
We had a lot of discussions yesterday while we were at a press conference here in Florida about the tension between sort of old guard, sometimes Republican, and new guard who just wants to get involved. We're so excited to get involved, and it's like people look at that as a threat. Carrie Lake was offered name your price to get out of this race, and it was recorded. So I just want to remind you what they'll do to try to silence a Republican who maybe doesn't fit the mold. Take a listen.
Is there a number at which
I can be bought?
not be bought?
That's what it's about.
You can take a pause for a couple of years.
No.
And then go right back to what you're doing.
No. 10 million, 20 million, 30, no. A billion, no. This is not about money. This is about our country. I think it's disturbing that they would that anybody would think this is.
No, to be fair, even me, I'll say this. I want a fresh face right now for the reason that I've never seen anyone, I can't think of a single person in a federal race who lost, ran in and won. I can't think of it. If you can think of it, let me know.
I'm not going to let these people who hate our country tell me not to run. You should call them and tell them to get behind me. So what's going on?
Bring it back, David.
Let's bring it back. Is our friend.
My gosh. And back to what James O'Keefe said. What is your price? If your price is not your life, you're in it for the wrong reason.
And guys, you have to understand, that is Arizona Republican Party chair at the time, Jeff DeWitt. So all these people that are like, you can't talk about the head of your GOP in your state.
Why not?
Really? If it's shady, it's shady. And listen, as Republicans, as conservatives, we are held to a higher standard because we say we are the party of faith. So if you're going to go in there and try to cut corners and try to do the same dirty work that the left does, you're actually going to be held to a higher standard. So that is something that took place. Thankfully, Carrie Lake did not take that bribe, and she had no problem outing it. She obviously lost. That's why both Democrats and Republicans basically ran against her.
And then you had like the other side of like the conspiracy world, and was like, it was planned and it was orchestrated. Yeah, okay.
Then don't be the party chair and do something stupid.
Right.
Like, so then are you culpable in it? So then that's like saying the party chair is okay with basically losing his job and tanking the entire party. I mean, good luck trying to put that on your resume. Guys, we're going to be back with more Open Mic Ladies here after a quick word from Liberty Cigars. I'll be right back.
From the heart of Marietta, Georgia, comes a tribute to the spirit of liberty. Liberty Cigars, where history meets craftsmanship. Each cigar tells a story. The Founders Collection honors the visionaries who shaped a nation. The President's House Collection celebrates the leaders who steered it. And the Naval Series salutes the heroes who defended it. Handcrafted with precision, each blend mirrors the essence of its namesake. From the boldness of George Washington to the elegance of Thomas Jefferson. Indulge in a moment of reflection. Light a Liberty cigar and savor the legacy. Discover your story at libertycigars.com because every great nation deserves a great cigar. Liberty Cigars, smoke the history. And don't forget to use promo code OpenMic for 10% off your order.
We're both busy working, but the song comes on and we're like,
I'm not working, I'm shopping. I'm on libertycigars.com trying to look to see which cigar do y'all think, because I have a Trump one, and you have to have a special link to get the Trump one, which if you guys are interested in the Trump ones, you just gotta let me know and I'll give you the link. Comment below in the comments and let me know. But I want to know, what cigar do y'all think I should purchase single? So I'm gonna think of buy a single one.
I would love a Churchill. I would love a Churchill.
You want a Churchill?
I do.
Okay, because we have. I thought
that said Stubby at first. I was like, Congressman Stubby, you got a cigar.
Von Steuben, and then you have the Benedict Arnolds and Marquis de Lafayette. You have Henry Lee III, Daniel Morgan,
Hamilton.
Alexander
Could you
Hamilton.
please come get too late, Powell?
Israel Putnam, Francis Marion, Henry Knox. I
don't have woke
George
coffee.
Washington, Nathaniel Greene. Like, you have so many, and their
You have a box?
collections. Their collections are insane. I've given away, I believe, the Washington Commanders series, it was the Founders series collection box to a friend of mine, and he absolutely loved it. It was a gift, and it's not all that expensive, and it comes in the boxes are handmade, handcrafted.
It's like artwork.
It is. It is artwork. John Adams puts his heart and soul into this, and his wife creates all of the artwork, and it's just absolutely amazing. I'm trying to find these candles.
Great gift, guys. Great gift. Hey, your legislators might like that as you're asking them.
Perfect way to introduce yourself.
Here's a cigar. We need you to pass the bill.
That.
Somebody who doesn't need any tapping on the shoulder.
It's not a short skirt and a low-cut T-shirt, but it's a cigar.
Speaking of short skirts and a low-cut T-shirt, though, somebody that doesn't need any nudge to do the right thing, Anna Paulina Luna, representative from right here in the wonderful state of Florida.
She wears pantsuits.
She is. She's announced that the Republicans, in the new year, plan to codify 81 of President Trump's executive orders. Take a listen.
Congresswoman, looking ahead to 2026, of course, we got the midterms coming up. That obviously you're elected in for 2 years. You're campaigning for half that time. That's not your fault. That's just how it works. But when we look at the intersection of policy and politics going into the midterms, most Americans sit at home and they go, Trump's doing a good job. And when you look at what he's getting done, a lot of it he's getting done through the executive branch. You've got the big, beautiful bill you guys have passed. You've got things like the Lincoln-Riley Act that I think you should tout more heavily. But are there some agenda items that you all, the Republicans in the House, can really push and say, hey, this is what we're doing for Americans, and this is why we should be reelected?
Most certainly. I think to your guys' point earlier, you did a great job covering the fact that we need we need voters to show up to the polls. I think that in part that has to do with the fact that we need to codify President Trump's executive orders. So I know Speaker Johnson has announced that upon returning, there's going to be 81 of those executive orders that we're going to be working on codifying and marking in stone, so they can never reverse those. In addition to that, one of the top issues in this country right now, something that I addressed with you all last time I was on with you, is banning insider trading. And I have since gotten a commitment from Speaker Johnson that within the first quarter of next year, we will actually be banning that. That's something that Hakeem Jeffries has been actively working against. So that actually came out in the press. Democrats called him out for actually trying to stop that bill. And so I think that there's a lot that we're going to be able to do. But again, codifying, invigorating the base, and making sure that President Trump is out on the campaign trail, which he's promised to do.
That's amazing. That's exciting. He needs to get out on the campaign trail. It's sad because I'm going to say it again. If our parties were doing their job, we wouldn't have to take a three-time elected president basically and put him out on a campaign trail.
He wouldn't have to, because the fact that we have people that are saying no one will vote if Trump is not on the ballot, or people only vote if Trump is on the ballot, or the massive amounts of people will come out to vote if Trump is on the ballot. That shows a bigger problem, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It shows a problem within your state leadership.
Yeah,
your county
there are
leadership.
plenty of things to run on if you educate the electorate, and we have to rely, unfortunately, on our party a lot of times to do that. That's why I think you see an influx of independent media and journalism, because we're like, well, if you're not going to do it, we will. You don't think there's anything coming down the pike in 2026? Not only are the Democrats going to try to sway people with a whole lot of bad narratives, but also we have not largely solved the problem from the 2020 elections, and now so much is coming out showing how fraudulent that was. I want you to take a look at this. This is a woman that was, her name's Raquel Rodriguez. She called herself a ballot chaser. She's not chasing ballots. What she's doing is illegal, and she says she knows it's illegal. She's since been arrested by the Texas Attorney General. But take a look at this undercover in 2020. Take a listen.
I'm just going to break it down to you as simple as I can, because it's good for you to understand.
It's from Project Veritas, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. We can bring it back if you want. Okay, so anyway, sorry about that glitch there. But she goes on to show she's training another ballot chaser. And she says, I've got to take all 10 of these ballots. I'm going to already have them filled out the way I want. And then she said, I guess it's being persuasive. But what she's going to say is, here's what we suggest. I mean, feel free to change anything that you want. Most of these, she's talking about elderly individuals, will just say, no, that looks good. She says, I'm not even supposed to give them a stamp. Everything I've done right now is wrong, as she's training this individual. I've already done probably like 1,800 ballots. This is one person in a red state of Texas. Mm-hmm. And even though the Attorney General has acted upon this, you can't tell me that largely this is not a game plan by Democrats. But I want to pivot to another one, David, if we can. We told you that they just came in, the intelligence community, bought all these boxes of hardcore, like the actual ballots, boxes of ballots from Fulton County to go through with a fine-tooth comb. I think there's over 300,000 that they're saying could have been fraudulent. Trump only lost by 11,000. So here is the Fulton County Commissioner, Bridget Thorne from District 1. She is dropping a stunning comment. Take a listen.
I have to say that we haven't been briefed yet by our county attorneys, but we have spent millions of dollars in outside legal counsel to fight anybody from ever seeing the actual election materials, the actual ballots, since 2020. So there's been a lot of questions raised. They've admitted there's been a lot of issues with the election, but they've blocked it at every turn of anybody actually getting to see the physical ballots.
I know you and I, Bridget, actually
Let's
when
bring
we
it
first
back,
met
David.
is because
Why would anybody want you to see the physical ballot?
They spent money, Georgia, your taxpayer dollars. They spent fighting it to not allow this. Arguably, they've done the same thing in Minneapolis and in Minnesota. This is why in states, a lot of states, even our red state here in Florida, love you Republicans, love you conservatives, but even they are pushing a bill through our House right now that wants to do away with paper ballots and go just to machines. Are you not listening? I don't know how much more of a smokestack we need to make here. I'm going to get flares and start shooting them off because...
But why? Why?
6 years later, we're just now getting our hands on those ballots to do an audit the right way.
It shouldn't take 6 years.
What are you going to do? Ask Tina Peters. What are you going to do? Who
largely still in prison.
What are you going to do when they just hit a button and it just deletes? Alt-Control-Delete, I call it. But what are you going to do? You're not going to have a hard copy there? That's completely asinine. We're not in this state. We're going to fight.
I didn't see any No Kings protests when the Biden administration decided to jail or silence anybody that questioned the election results.
Oh, and there's a whole video I just shared on X. It's about 8 minutes long of Democrats questioning elections. Of Hillary saying, those machines are programmable.
Right.
The what?
So how are you saying this then? But when we say it, when it actually happens, it's all of a sudden you're an election denier? Wait.
Just shared it this morning on X for that very reason. Go watch it.
This is why all of this is a psyop, y'all. Mm-hmm. It is. Protect your mind.
If they can't win doing it, they're going to accuse you of doing it. The Save America, the Save Act is being renamed the Save America Act, and I want to see Mike Lee take a listen to what he has to say about it. Oh. Or not.
Oh, we're having techie issues.
Okay. There's a gremlin.
Oh, there's a gremlin loose.
Who did I tell you? Feed the mogwai after midnight.
Why?
Wait, is it feed the mogwai or is it water?
Water. You're not supposed to water them.
That is a scary movie. Whoever thought that was a good idea to show 7- and 8-year-olds? Thanks, Ma.
I'm going to do it to mine.
I largely sleep with the light on now.
My kids are afraid of the Goonies. I'm like, are you serious right now?
That guy was crazy.
He was a little scary.
And I know, politically correctly, we can't say this, but that was not okay.
It was not. I gave everybody
in the Goonies, he eats a specific type of candy bar, and the way he ate it, I was like, I will never eat that candy bar again. It's not okay.
I want to know what childhood 80s, 90s movies
traumatized the hell out of you
as a child.
Oh, Nightmare on Elm Street. There's a pizza. This is why we do this everywhere. There was a pizza, and there were like little sausage balls, and not just like the cute sausage that's ground. It was the sausage balls, so you know it was the cheap pizza. And I'm not going to name the name of the company, but the sausage ball turns to a face, and it was like, "Help me!" And Freddy Krueger takes his sharp knife, Edward Scissorhands, and just pokes it. And I was like, "Can't eat sausage pizza anymore." If you wonder why I only get cheese, that's why.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny.
Anyway, I think we don't have the clip. Do we have the clip back from Rep. Lee? But he's calling it the. Okay, it's the Save America Act because he wants to save America. So it is supposed to be making its way to a vote. So we're grateful for that.
I think there was Leader Thune came out and did a little bit of a press conference and said that he liked the bill, he's going to pass it, but they're going to add the photo ID to it to make it stronger. So thank you so much.
Which is going to force California's hand.
Yes, but there are a lot of people that are kind of pushing back and like, oh, this is never going to happen without killing the nuking the filibuster. Okay, so take active participation for your own governance.
That's like these people that want to protest ICE. You have had 2 presidents in the last 4 decades that have been in for 2 terms. Do the math. That's 16 years that you did not do anything about immigration law.
I say this with a lot of love.
And you hate the immigration policies. Like, wake up.
I say this with a lot of love. It's some tough love, and I'm going to act like a coach and not a drill sergeant. Okay. Get up off the bench. Stop crying. Get up off the bench and go participate. Stop doing this, running your mouth, and go put your feet to the pavement and go do something about it.
Stop throwing frozen water bottles.
There's calls to actions everywhere. It's not like you can't figure out who your representative is or how many people in the Senate there are. Call them. I know. I saw him like laughing. I'm dying. He's got a couple mogwais in his pocket. Apparently, they got into his laptop and corrupted some things.
David says these are the rules for gremlins. Keep them out of for mogwai. Keep them out of the bright light. Gremlins. Never get them wet. And never feed them after midnight. That is me all the time. You could feed. I love to be fed after midnight. If I'm in the sunlight too long, never mind. You know what? Don't clip that, Brianna.
I love it.
General Flynn had this to say, and I always love how he drops little nuggets here and there.
He does.
General Flynn showed this. He said, "Wow, a powerful couple of extraordinary capability." And who's he talking about? Ed Martin, who they tried to get in as U.S. attorney. But obviously the Democrats weren't going to have that, so now he works for the DOJ. He's largely in charge of the auto pen scandal, figuring that out. And this is, of course, Sidney Powell. Now, Sidney Powell, guys, you're going to think she had a little crystal ball. You're going to think she went to see a fortune teller and got her cards read, which she didn't because she's Christian and knows not to do that. But this was her alley in 2020. We are 6 years later, and it gets exhausting being right as a woman. Not at all.
No, it doesn't.
But take a listen to Sidney Powell. This is what she was saying in 2020.
Don't lie to these people.
We're back now with attorney Sidney Powell. She was describing a cyber Pearl Harbor in the 2020 election, focusing on 4 names. I would also like to put up this element from your investigation. If we could have that full screen up so that we could all go through that with the audience. Because it's important as we look at these 4 names. We're talking about a very large foreign intrusion and interference in the election of 2020. It's outrageous that we have an attorney general, Sidney, who has said that he sees no sign of any significant fraud that would overturn the election. We had a head of the cyber intelligence unit.
I want to bring it back for the sake of time. So if I could just give...
Go ahead, girl, give it.
I could just give some advice to people who have very large platforms on these very large networks. You bring a genius on your show.
Let them talk.
Let them talk.
That's what they like about us. When we go and we have
I lose my words. Certain guests, I lose my words. Because I go all like fangirl. I'm like, oh.
Wow.
Or like, I respect you so much. Mm-hmm. You know so much. Oh. Okay, anyway.
Well, that's the point.
This is what, okay, if you saw that screenshot that he showed on the screen, 2020, they're saying there's 4 names you need to know according to Sidney Powell. Jorge Rodriguez, former Minister of Communications for Venezuela. Wait, what's in the news right now? Venezuela.
What?
Huh. You don't think Maduro's somewhere singing like a canary?
I
They've
bet
got
he is.
Khalil Mazoub.
I'll put money on it.
He is Rodriguez's front man. They've got Gustavo. I get like really Spanish.
Gustavo Reyes.
Zumeta. He is the programmer, and Antonio okay, I can't even say that. Mugicia. He's Smartmatic CEO. Hey, we can say that name now. So we now have all of these people that have been in our custody for 6 years that are singing like a canary, just like Maduro is. You think Venezuela wasn't in our best interest? We're going to have a very solid case against what was done in 2020. You think it's just pure coincidence that Sidney Powell, the person who knew this in 2020, just magically appears in Washington, D.C. on the same day that truckloads of actual hard copy ballots are pulled from Fulton County, Georgia? I don't think there's a coincidence there.
Does it now make sense why the left is so upset, and some on the right are so upset about the capture of Maduro? Do you really think that we are going to actually give you operation details of what is actually going on? I mean, yes, all things can be true at the same time. Yes, he's a dictator. Yes, he's illegitimate. Yes, he is a narco-terrorist. Yes, America had a bounty on his head. Yes, he was indicted. Yes, we understand that. Yes. And it has to do with the illegal elections.
Absolutely. Well, and Maduro knows it because that's how he got elected.
Exactly.
Guys,
it's all intertwined. Now, does it make sense why everyone is so upset that we got him and brought him back to America so we can question him?
Yeah, Allie.
It all makes sense.
Do you have a bingo card for 2026? I feel like we should make an open mic bingo card. Because what I didn't have on our bingo card.
On mine either.
The Nicki Minaj trend. Which
wow.
I'm going to tell you right now. Cover your best intentions because there is some language, but again, we are largely dealing with culture.
Music.
Yeah. This was a Nicki Minaj trend now that's coming out since she's so pro-Trump, but I didn't know that the Amish were going to jump on board. This is too cool. Take a look.
Liberals ain't shit, no they can't do nothing. A bunch of whiny bitches, oh you thought I was bluffing. I'm teaming with Trump, teaming with Trump. I'm teaming with Trump, teaming with Trump.
Hey, we're gonna have to get on that.
We're gonna do the trend. We are. Watch for a video because we're gonna do it, and it might be choreographed because I got a nice.
We go a little extra.
We do.
We're a little bit extra.
We're a little extra.
You can't handle it.
I'm so excited. You know what? I'm kind of mad. I was like, I wanted to meet Nicki Minaj.
Can we work that out?
I've been a fan.
Some of you that are watching, can we work that out?
Before she was friends with Trump.
I would watch an exclusive with Ali Leger and Nicki Minaj.
Oh my gosh.
You want to talk about some fun stuff. That'd be amazing. So let's fast forward a little bit because our First Lady has a movie dropping tonight.
We need a soundboard.
One night only. It's
We need like a soundboard where I can just touch things. Or they can just go off.
I want to give you guys the trailer of Melania and then we'll talk about it a little bit. Take a look.
Here we go again.
You can come in. Don't worry. My proudest legacy will be that of peacemaker.
Peacemaker in the fire. Beautiful. Together, with like-minded leaders, we have a voice. Is it safe?
It is safe.
Everyone wants to know. So here it is. Hi, Mr. President. Congratulations.
Did you watch it?
I did not. Yeah, I will see it on the news.
I love her.
Congratulations.
Let's just say Melania Trump making women again.
I know, and bringing back some elegance. I mean,
and high heels.
Whew, the highest of high heels.
There's some people
Did you see? Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm
talking about? She had a black Hermes bag. With her stilettos.
I want to know like when she she does this thing where like she kind of turns over her closet, and I'm just saying.
So beautiful.
Not that I wear the same size, but maybe shoes, you know?
Oh
like
my gosh.
She's gorgeous.
No,
she's wonderful.
Elegant, very
and
elegant.
Trump, knows how to be a man around a
He does.
strong, beautiful woman because, of course, on the red carpet for the premiere, somebody has to ask him an off-the-cuff question, and listen to how eloquently he answered. We're so proud. Take a listen.
Do you believe you'd be the man you are today if you hadn't met your wife?
That's an interesting question. I better be very careful with that. That's a very dangerous. He's asking me a very dangerous question. I think she's really been a great help. She's done a great job. Very respected, very smart, very measured, very measured. Sometimes when I'm not so measured, she measures you. But no, she's done a great job and very, very influential in terms of the administration. Yes.
And Mr. President, with
he's asking me very dangerous questions.
I asked your husband if he would be the man he is today if he had never met you. What do you think?
Well, we will all be in different places, I guess. Right?
We do like the way it worked out.
Oh, I love that. And then did you see Pete Hegseth and his wife on the red carpet? And he kissed her so cute on the cheek. I'm just like, oh, be still my heart. Look, I'm a romantic. Like,
I know, but we're like, what, 2 weeks out from Valentine's Day, and it's looking like a Galentine's. And I'm not bitter.
I'm going to take my girls and my son. We're all going to go out to dinner. Yes. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to teach
That's
my boy,
exactly what you should do.
And I teach my girls, and that's what we're going to do.
I love it. I love it. And we don't need a holiday to make us feel love and
Although
show
I would
love.
like some roses.
Although, yeah,
and some
flowers, some chocolate, a chick flick, and we'll stop there because it is a family show.
It's great. I love that. I love that we have an administration that is not afraid to, one, make kids normalized.
Yeah.
Right? And two, where we have strong, actual masculine men, not performative masculine men. Because, Lord, I have had it up to my eyeballs with that. I just love that they love their wives and that they are very public about loving their wives. It's absolutely amazing. Literally, everybody in the administration is having a baby.
Make love great again because it's freedom.
Freedom is sexy, y'all.
Freedom's sexy, and so is masculinity. Guys, that's it for us here today. Wonderful
ladies,
Friday.
It's
yes.
good to stay elegant.
It is.
Hold your virtue.
And keep your standards high.
Amen.
They'll either climb or they'll use the Candyland slide thing.
Yeah, they'll fall from the pedestal you put them on. Don't do that.
That's
We
right.
love you.
Have a great weekend. We love you. We'll see you Monday, guys.
Red hat stays on. What do you do when the gas is high?